Radical.
Okay, so I've been directed to this new upload on the personal channel of Mr. Elliot Cole. Something very cool to show you. The very cool thing he's showing everybody is those parts with the e-bagged up money from that GoFundMe. So he's got all these parts. So he's making people feel happy that they donated to the GoFundMe to, take care of and fix his bike. Now, I could possibly see a GoFundMe set up for possibly a little one. Maybe, someone steals a 12-year-old's bike, and maybe it's a very poor family, and they can't afford to, buy their child a new bike. I could see maybe a GoFundMe for a very downtrodden family. I think Mr. Elliot Cole would see a GoFundMe like that as good, heartwarming. Again, like a very poor family, and their child gets their bike stolen. Heck, maybe they don't even have any vehicles, and maybe all they can afford is bikes. Right. So a GoFundMe under those circumstances, I would be fine with that. I would be. I think Mr. Elliot Cole would be fine with that also. Now, let's read a comment, and he refers to Dave. I guess this is the guy that set up the GoFundMe. The guy that left a comment here that he hearted. A guy that is maybe a guy that he doesn't personally know. Maybe there's no collusion here. Maybe it was just somebody setting up GoFundMe and then, get in contact with Elliot saying, hey, I set up this GoFundMe for your bike. Maybe this guy, Dave Smith, was thinking that this guy is just like that example that I stated, from a very, very, very poor, downtrodden family and can't afford to fix up the bike. But we'll get onto that in a moment here. Let's read this comment from Dave Smith. Dave Smith says, be proud you had the balls to cry on a video, mate. It just shows you're just another human and have feelings. Without that video, many wouldn't have known how hard it hit you when that the bike, was taken. And then the great stuff that has come from everyone who has been helping and all the support. The donations to this person. I guess that being a great thing. I know it wasn't your intent of the video, though. I'm just glad you got it back and are on your way to rebuilding it. Could I suggest while buying parts for you, look at some of the lock or anchoring system to make sure the little turds can't do it again, steal his bike again. Okay, so Dave says he knows it was not the intent of that upload to get sympathy and make people want to donate to him. He says he knows it wasn't the intent. Okay, I could jive with that. I could jive with the thought that maybe someone could actually upload something showing their bike or something that was stolen and they got back that was in, not looking good. Like, I could get that. I could understand that. The thing is, though, I've watched this a couple times, and I might do a breakdown in the future. He doesn't want people to see this upload. Like, he wanted people to see the upload, but then he took it down. So I'm confused here. He says he wasn't, I think in this upload he says he wasn't proud of it. Then everyone's saying like, hey, don't worry about it, man. You cried over your moped. Not a big deal. You cried over it, So you kind of set it up to be like, well, if you are uploading something on YouTube and you're a man crying about something, I think that's a perfect means to set up to get donations. Now, maybe it was not your intent, Elliot. I think it was his intent. But, Elliot, you got to understand that people will actually look at that and they will want to donate to you. If you're a grown man, you're not a 12-year-old child, you're a 23-year-old grown man, and you're crying. And the thing about it is, I don't want to give away my breakdown, which I'll do a complete breakdown of that 2 minutes. Maybe by the seconds. But the thing is, it will have that effect on people. So if you're not a master manipulator, if you don't know what you're doing, that actually is the effect that you have on people when you upload those boo-hoo-hoo, those crying uploads. Personally to YouTube. But I think what was mostly happening was the reason you took that down is not because you were ashamed that you were crying. It's because your own audience was calling you out for e-begging. Because once they saw the GoFundMe link, they're like, whoa, what's going on here? They started making the link. Your own audience started probably making the link between the upload and the pinned GoFundMe link. That, my friend, is the smoking gun, the pinned GoFundMe link. Now, you can have this whole story about, well, it was just Dave, this other person, they set up the GoFundMe. But you had to have had an idea that, if you're going to be crying about your bike and you're going to be advertising that your bike is stolen and telling everybody on YouTube that it's stolen, then, well, someone's probably going to eventually set up a GoFundMe. And when that happens, you have a choice, Mr. Elliott. You can turn down the GoFundMe and say, thank you. I would rather you set up a GoFundMe for someone that actually is deserving and is in a bad situation in life and not myself. You should be honest, Mr. Elliott, and tell your own audience that, you're not a poor widow YouTuber. You're not. Someone stopped by, I think it was Maximus DM, and told me about the location that you live being kind of like Martha's Vineyard. That's a choice location that you live in. I don't think a lot of poor people live in that particular area. Just kind of, putting that out there. And also, I think I stated this before, MrBeast, not a poor YouTuber. You have connections directly to MrBeast. So I don't think this guy Dave Smith is very smart, because you see, MrBeast is probably the opposite kind of YouTuber to Elliott Cole. I've heard about MrBeast actually, helping a lot of people downtrodden, helping a lot of people in real life, kind of like a philanthropist. Is that the word, right? Well, Elliott could just probably pick up the phone and call MrBeast. MrBeast probably could be like, oh, yeah, I'm a millionaire, whatever. You want a bike? There you go. But I'm trying to get through to you and tell you all that no one that has this direct connection to MrBeast, and he does have a direct connection to MrBeast, because guess what? If you go to Elliott's main channel, the first guy you see, the first face you see is Mr. freaking Beast. So to a lot of people that donated to that GoFundMe, a lot of you should have probably just, emailed or wrote MrBeast. That's probably not the only big YouTube connection that this guy has. So yeah, I think we're leaning towards this being a master manipulator, kind of like Camelot 331. Only the thing is, I gotta admit, this guy is probably really good. This guy's probably very good, because I tell you right now, I can guarantee you, I'm gonna have people come into my comment section telling me that I'm a hateful loser, troll, and I have no life. Even though, ironically, like I've said before, in all these cases, I'm the guy trying to expose other people that are a little shady. I'm the guy trying to do this using my time to help others, to keep people from donating to, let's just be honest here, rich people like this.